Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Grandpa. Make a wish, make a wish. One more.
This is my mom, Laurie. My mom was born on July 6th, 1969 to my grandparents, Faye and Larry. She's their oldest. Her younger brother is nearly identical, and she's the one who gave him his lifelong nickname, Tiger. My mom was always a bubbly little blonde. She grew up playing soccer just like me, and moving around a lot because of my grandpa's job. She worked in a pizza shop my grandparents owned and graduated from the same high school I ended up going to. She was definitely far more stylish in high school than I ever was. I love seeing so much photo evidence of my parents as kids. Seeing each of us spending our teenage years in the same places, doing the same things. Our family tradition of going to Topsail Island, North Carolina most summers growing up started with her and my dad. She loved the beach so much. She kept a lot of her cool 80s outfits, and I used to wear her prom dress around the house all the time. Exhibit A and B. Speaking of style, she was also the world's biggest Stevie Nicks and Fleetwood Mac fan of all time. She married her high school sweetheart, my dad. And then in '93, they had me. And boy, was I destined to be a Disney kid. My mom was always described as someone who loved her kids so much. I think one thing that's easy to forget as you grow up is your parents were once just kids figuring it out too. And that they're still growing up and growing old just as you are. While I could never imagine early 20s me having a kid, I'm glad my parents were on the younger side. In theory, I'd have them around longer. These are some of my favorites, and probably the closest I could imagine a little human of your own being just your entire world. She could play the piano beautifully, dress me up for every single Christmas and holiday, and was always there for me when I was sick. Wasn't able to curl my hair until after college, because one of my favorite things was getting my hair done in the bathroom by her. I just loved it because she did it. She'd help make my costumes most Halloweens, and she always tried to instill an independence in me. She was the cool race mom who taught me how to ride a dirt bike and never worry about a man. This is one of my favorite photos of us at the beach. Her summer birthday was very fitting. She went from driving me to dance recitals to driving me to soccer and becoming my coach before high school, when soccer was my whole life. Young adulthood between moms and daughters wasn't always rainbows and butterflies, but one thing was certain, that we were so loved. Then I got a phone call that changed our lives in the spring of 2018, when I learned my 48-year-old mother was diagnosed with stage 4 stomach cancer and given 4 months to 3 years to live. This is one of my favorite photos of my mom, on a Mother's Day, and how I imagined she might want to be remembered. It wasn't immediate, which allowed optimism as a coping mechanism at first, but it took less than a year to see the effects of chemo. One of her friends cut her beautiful long blonde hair to prepare for it falling out, and before long, she just shaved it completely. After the first year, there was a glimmer of hope when the disease seemed to have literally disappeared, which we thought was a perfect Christmas miracle, but it came back a couple of months later. As strong as she was, I knew she needed the immense support we saw from friends, family, and strangers in the darker moments when things seemed to just get worse instead of better. She was hell-bent on pushing through treatments, and I wouldn't wish having to see a parent go through physically and mentally what it can do to someone, on anyone. She fought so hard and lived, almost to the month, through every single one of the 3 years the doctors gave her. She was always one stubborn woman, and giving up wasn't an option. But I still never thought she would go. She decided her fight was over on February 14th, 2021. My Valentine's angel. Losing a parent is such a specific loss I've found you can never prepare for. Speaking about her will always feel like a celebration, but to me this will always feel unfair. There's just so much I wish I could make immortal, because how could you possibly convey how much of a light someone's entire existence was? To you and to so many others who loved her. Which, I guess, is what draws me to the art I'm drawn to. Because of her. It's been hard enough to adjust to her absence, but I'm so grateful to have these photos, because I don't ever want to forget. I know you're on a beach somewhere right now with our dog Jessie, kicking a ball or sneaking her popcorn like you would during movie nights when Dad wasn't looking. The firsts without you are going to be hard. The first Christmas, my first birthday this week without you. Nothing I could ever write or say could do your life and love any justice, and this will never feel real. You'll always be with me, but every future experience will be just a little more dull without your light. I am who I am because of you. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I will love you forever.